Welcome to the City Club of Eugene's December 13th, 2024 program, a civic celebration, our Gifts to the City event. My name's Andrew Calick, and I'm City Club's president. We're coming to you from our home in the historic Wow Hall in the heart of downtown Eugene, and it's my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our gifters and to all of you joining us here in person, online, and over the radio. We have some amazing area residents ready to give their gifts, but first, a thank you to our Platinum and Diamond sponsors who enable the gift of City Club all year round. The Eugene Area Chamber of Commerce, serving as a catalytic leader in creating a vibrant and diverse economy that drives economic opportunity and well-being. Kaiser Permanente, which exists to provide high-quality, affordable healthcare services and to improve the health of our members and the communities we serve. More information at www.kp.org. The University of Oregon has helped Oregonians question critically, think logically, reason effectively, communicate clearly, act creatively, and live ethically since 1876. More information at uoregon.edu. Lane Community College transforms lives through learning. LCC provides comprehensive, accessible, high-quality educational opportunities that promote student success. For more information, visit lanecc.edu. And thank you to the City of Eugene and to Lane County for their support as well. I'd now like to welcome back, by popular demand, Dan Bryant, himself a gift to the city, to MC today's program. Take it away, Dan.
Thank you. It is wonderful to be here with you again to share in this wonderful tradition. And this is a time of traditions, of decorations, holiday parties, family dinners, bemoaning election results, and of course, gift giving. And so we continue that wonderful tradition here, well, maybe not the bemoaning the election results, with our own unique version of the City Club of Gift Giving to the City. And note that I am wearing the traditional colors for this festive occasion, green and yellow for the Ducks and red for the Rose Bowl. Right? Speaking of traditions, another tradition we have in this program is to start the gift giving with, of course, that very unique Eugene tradition, our very own SLUG Queen. Only this year we have not one, but two delightfully slimy royal gastropods. SLUG Queen Glorious Gastropause, a.k.a. Leanne Jashaway, and SLUG Queen Holly Go Slugly, a.k.a. Debbie Williamson-Smith. Queen Glow was crowned in 2007 and Queen Holly in 2011. Now, as you know, SLUG Queens are the unofficial ambassadors of Eugene, supporting local nonprofits, city programs, and special events meant to bring us together and to remind us to celebrate our quirkiness. Queen Glow is known for her love and support for animal welfare and volunteers at the Green Hill Humane Society and helps raise money for local farmed animal sanctuaries. Queen Holly is well known in the local art scene. She works at the Jordan Schnitzer Museum of Art and can often be found guiding tours of murals. So please come and share your gifts, preferably without any slime if you want.
Spoil sport. Maybe a little slime. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Queen Holly Go Slugly.
And I'm Queen Glow.
We're wickedly happy to be here today to present our gift to the city.
Our gift is a roadmap to a stronger, more welcoming community. And I brought one. Remember these? So we will use that momentarily. I can't do two things at the one time. I'm a wordsmith, and I love looking at words. And so when I see the word community, I see two words, commune and unity. Commune as in to listen to, focus attention on, and make a welcoming space for. It's time to take out, she had to give these to me, I don't have any of my own, earbuds. Take out our earbuds and pay attention to what's going on in the community around us.
And unity, the state of being united and in harmony with those around us. Focusing not on what's good or evil, but what we have in common. And what can we do to strengthen those bonds? As we travel down the yellow brick road, trying to strengthen our heart and brain and muster our courage, let's keep moving forward together.
Step 1, commune with nature. Our flora and fauna are part of our community and often go disregarded. So talk to the squirrels, hug the trees, and for heaven's sakes, leave the slugs and the snails alone. They know more about soil sustainability than we humans ever do.
Unite with artists and artisans. They have creative solutions to problems that will help us move forward. So pull back the curtain and meet the makers. And if you take a moment to enjoy the arts, visit a museum, I have a recommendation, see a show, your heart and soul will be fuller.
Commune with the people who are doing good in this community, whether it's Beyond Toxics or Friends of Trees Eugene, or Green Hill Humane Society, where for 7 years I have socialized rabbits because I failed at socializing husbands. These people are where our joy and hope lie.
Unite with those making good trouble. If you look around, you'll see people stocking free pantries, putting diverse books in little free libraries, collecting coats and socks for the unhoused, volunteering at the Egan Warming Center. Small acts make a huge difference. So let's get out there and make some good trouble.
Commune with indigenous people. Our first peoples are not our past. They're our present and our future. We need to invite them into all spaces. She knows I get into crying very easily. I got the opportunity to interview Daphne Singing Tree, who tomorrow will be doing her first book signing at the Art and Artist Fair at the Lane County Fairgrounds. Her book is amazing. Support our local first people.
Unite with diverse groups and hone your anti-racism skills. Attend, volunteer, support special events like the Asian Celebration, events happening at the Black Cultural Initiative, Juneteenth, Pride. If you know your SLUG Queens, you know that we will show up for as many events as we can slime our way through. It's not just so that we can be adored by our fans, it's our way of learning about and uniting with our community.
When we commune with those who are different from us
and unite with our neighbors, we create a stronger community that cares for everyone and breaks ground with new ideas for solving our problems. So let's all follow that yellow brick road to unite with community. And remember, there's no place like home.
There's no place like home.
Thank you, Slug Queens Glow and Holly. Now we go from a pair of slugs to a pair of foodies, because who hasn't encountered a slug when unwrapping that fresh head of romaine lettuce from your garden, right? Kris and Kathy Calise started the Facebook group Eugene Foodies in 2009, inspired by the 100-mile dinners at Lane Community College to support local sustainable food, preferably, in my opinion, without slugs. Now, with 39,000 members, it highlights local chefs, home cooks, and a platform for fundraising for nonprofits, particularly Reality Kitchen and Burrito Brigade. Kris and Kathy, we look forward to what you have cooked up for us.
It is going to be a hard act to follow after the SLUG Queens, let me tell you. So I'd like to thank the City Club for the opportunity you've given Kris and I to give a wish to the city during this holiday season. And thank you, Dan, for that great introduction.
So, Eugene is called Tracktown USA, but in a lot of circles, there's a whole different culture. I came here because Eugene is a hippie town. Thank you to the Grateful Dead. Kathy married a deadhead, so she knows that I'm really into something called good space. So we're going to give you good space with our magic wand.
So what is good space? Well, good space is that space where people come together and they share. Not only does it help create a path of joyful contentment, but it also helps us to reside in a world where kindness, love, and service is the goal of our perspective. It enables us to see each other as human beings, no matter what the circumstance. For Kris and I, we find our good space in food. Yes, we love to eat. But we find joyful contentment in feeding in feeding the food insecure and the unhoused, in promoting local chefs, supporting our small farmers, and participating in local food events. Food brings people together, even in the most difficult situations, and it can create a good space. I know because I married an Italian.
Yep, and I have a hard time cooking for two. It's an Italian thing. In hoping that we make a little bit of a difference in other people's lives, Kathy and I are both dedicated to helping feed people and spreading the joyful world of food. We have so many experiences where we have seen the appreciation of people when they get a meal, whether it be delivering pizzas to local nonprofits or putting on a Thanksgiving dinner for 180 people, watching them enjoy the pie, or just watching shoppers come into the free grocery store to get rescued food groceries that somebody doesn't put in a box for them, but they can pick and choose themselves. There are so many great nonprofits feeding people in Eugene and doing great work. As Yoda said, don't try, do.
If I could just take one more minute of your time and tell you about an experience that I had just recently. So last Friday, it was cold. The little free grocery store decided they would do a pop-up in the evening at 5 o'clock since we had so much rescue food and it was the end of the week. At one point in time, there were 19 plus people waiting outside of our building, waiting to get in to do their shopping for the free groceries. Knowing that we had a donation of hand warmers, we went out and we started handing out hand warmers to the people waiting in line. There was a father there with his two young children. They were maybe 5, 6, they were younger. And so we handed them a hand warmer. And the lady and I said, do you know how to make this get hot? And the kids shook their head. And the woman, who was dressed in multiple layers of clothes, she must have had 3 coats on and fingerless gloves. She turned around and she said to the children, here, I can help you to do this. And so she showed them how to activate that hand warmer. They were so excited, and it just made the whole line so happy that those kids were just gleeful over those hand warmers.
And in closing, we'd like to say that you have that magic we just gave you. It is called Good Space, and it's not meant to be kept to yourself. It's meant to be shared to everyone you meet in passing of your life. It's something that will bring joy to you and to them. And lastly, but not least, please prepare yourself for the big one. Stock food, water, and toilet paper. It could shatter our community good space if we are not prepared. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kris and Kathy. And speaking of good space, another such good space here in Eugene is the Black Cultural Festival, of which Talicia Brown Crowell is the founder and producer, as well as the executive director of the Black Cultural Initiative and the owner of Harmony Massage. Talicia came to Oregon to attend Reed College in Portland and moved to Eugene in the year 2000. So for 20 years, Talicia has worked in public health, staffed rites of passage for Black folk in Memphis, and built her successful Black-owned business, Harmony Massage. So Talicia, massage us with your gift.
Oh, hello. Thank you so much for welcoming me to this space. I think that you will hear a common theme in these gifts to the city, so listen up. It is a great honor to be selected amongst so many of Eugene's finest citizens to present this year's City Club Gift to the City. What an odd concept. It's very Eugenian. To be able to wave a magic wand and to endow the city with a gift I would wish the city to have. Well, as a citizen who has lived in Eugene since 2000, been a business owner, mother, and founder of the Black Cultural Initiative, this is the present I would give to the city. It's all about the brand. Our brand states that we are a city that welcomes cultural diversity. Because that is our brand, the city hasn't needed to do the work to live up to that brand. The real work is to bridge the gap between the brand and reality. And I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be easy. It just might take more than a Zoom meeting or a dynamic lecture. It's going to take compassion. It's going to take patience. It's going to take forgiveness. It's going to take humility. And it's going to take great sacrifice. It might take more than looking at the fact that there are groups of people who are most in need, but receive the fewest resources over and over and over again. As someone who has devoted a tremendous amount of time in the last few years trying to navigate what people think is a broken system, I personally can tell you the system is not broken. It is doing exactly what it is meant to do, to benefit some while reinforcing systemic and cultural disadvantages to others. So I would like to give to the city of Eugene the gift of courage. It is going to take a lot of courage to live up to the brand and one day truly to be a place that embraces diversity. Thank you.
Thank you, Talicia, for sharing your courage with us. You know, festivals often use public parks, and we are fortunate to have many such parks in Eugene, thanks in part to our next gift giver. John Winquist serves on the board of the Eugene Parks Foundation and has been quietly giving tours of future parkland to potential donors, raising millions of dollars to buy and develop property in Eugene's South Hills. John is the secret power behind the Rivers to Ridges initiative that aims to complete the Ridgeline Trail encircling Eugene with a 40-mile trail loop through the parkland. John, in collaboration with his wife Pam, are honored to support the River to Ridges vision and to pay it forward to support parks in our community. John, you have another opportunity to pay it forward now.
Thank you. Well, he avoided the tongue-in-cheek introduction. Maybe that's good. It's getting close to Christmas, and it's time to unwrap presents, and so I'd like to unwrap what I would give as a present. I'm good at unwrapping presents because my brothers and I would unwrap all the presents under the Christmas tree, look at them, and then carefully rewrap them. And then at Christmas, try to act like we hadn't seen it before. So you can ask me sometime how that came out in the end. But one thing I do know, and that is that Eugene, and it's going to surprise you, I'm sure, is Eugene has a housing problem. And the solutions are pretty simple. I don't know why people think it's complicated. The solutions are twofold. We can do dense housing in some manner, or we can pave everything between here and Corvallis, and that's what we're working on. Maybe it's time to change direction. My gift, our gift to the city, would be to the gift will make people glad for dense housing and happy to live in a compact area. That's it. And the gift is an extraordinary parks and rec system that is so good that people will want to live near it, and much of what they do will center around that system. So when our future late 21st century resident is choosing between a new subdivision out near Monroe over existing farmland with a 45-minute commute to town, or a place in town, maybe a bit smaller, where there's a 5-minute walk to their job or their employment, they'll choose to be downtown. They'll choose to in town. And what will draw them to that? Well, first of all, there will be a lawn about a block away, a green grass lawn, where they can play lawn games or just roll in the grass, as most kids do. And then they don't have to water that lawn, they don't have to mow that lawn, and they don't have to fertilize that lawn. So that's the first thing that they see. I've got a whole list here. Stepping outside their door are multiple pedestrian ways, pedestrian paths. There are urban pedestrian paths, and they connect with rural pedestrian paths. That happens to be my specialty. And those paths run all the way from circling around Fern Ridge Lake, through both cities of Eugene and Springfield, and out perhaps to Mount Pisgah. And I think we're going to call that Rivers to Ridges. There's a bus service that connects trailheads, and so that you go for a walk, but then you get on the bus, and then you go for another walk. The heart of the gift is rec centers, and they really wouldn't be called recreation centers. They would be called they are called community centers, and the reason is because that's where the community focuses. Got to check the time here. Oh, okay. The best part is we already have this. We have it. It's good. It's great. The gift is that we're going to move from good and great to extraordinary. And what that means is, for instance, of the 500 community gardens we have, we're going to have 5,000. And they're going to, instead of charging for them, the cost is going to be 10 carats to Fouquier-Lade County. So we're going to build communities. Thank you very much.
The time flies.
John, thank you for that extraordinary gift. And if you enjoy hiking in the outdoors, you need to be in good shape. Well, Denise Thomas, our next guest, can help us with that. She is the owner of Let's Move Fitness and has recruited the help of local school leaders to create a path to help our kids get healthier. She gathered fitness instructors, coaches, retired teachers, U of O students and athletes, students from Lane Community's College Fitness Specialist Program, and people who have experience with youth and physical activities into the Healthy Moves program. And if you enjoy funk music, then you should know that Denise pioneered Double Funk, a cardio-intense workout set to funk music. So let's hear the funky gift that Denise has for us.
Thank you. I'm Denise Thomas, and thank you for the opportunity to share. The work I love to do as a fitness specialist and the executive director of Healthy Moves, a not-for-profit that supports physical movement in PE classes for grades K through 8, makes me want to gift the city how to heal. I want people to be healthy, happy, and well. Give me a moment right here. They want to stick. I gift you the letter H. Harmony, happiness, and hope. When we participate in some sort of physical activity, our endorphins are elevated, which allows us to be happy. And with that sense of happiness, we can have hope. I gift you the letter E. Energy. When you move, it gives you energy to live life. Let that life give you empathy, to give an ear to listen to others that might not have the best life. Okay, now here we go. I gift you the letter A, active. Be active. And if you don't mind, will you please stand? And for those out there in radio land, you're sitting down, you can move your shoulders, and I'm going to move away. Yes, There we go. I want you to move. And if you're, yeah, nice. I was going to say hips. I already got some hips. Now add your feet. Little stepping. Let your arms come up. Right? Yeah, let them. Oh, and you took my chorus. Oh, my goodness. Do a little turn. Little turn. And if you're at home, clap your hands. Right here, clap our hands, right? Yeah, little movement, right? Bring us down. There we go. I saw my timing. We could go on forever, but no. Nice, right? So cool. Thank you if you have a seat. But what I want you to think about, how did you feel when you moved? How did you feel when you moved? Great, great. Being active is good for our cognitive, and for the little kids, it gets out their wiggles, and for us adults, it helps with our mindfulness. Yay, thank you for participating. I gift you the letter L. Live, like, and love. Living in Eugene, there are a variety of ways to heal. Bike paths, hiking paths, facilities that allow us to participate in a variety of modalities of exercise. We should support classes, businesses that allow us to live a healthy lifestyle. So to wrap this up, find what form of physical movement that allows you to be happy, to have energy, to stay active, and keep loving, living life in Eugene. Please don't forget to lend an ear to your neighbor, and most of all, have a great holiday season. Peace and kindness. All righty. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Our radio audience needs to know Denise has a magic wand, and so as she waved that wand, that was, I know, was extended throughout Radio Land as well, and bestowing her healthy gift on all of us. Well, another lover of parks is Kris Wig, who is the Executive Director of Emergence, Addiction, and Behavioral Therapies in Eugene, but also serves as an elected member of the Board of Directors of Willamette Lane Park and Recreation District. Has a Bachelor in Cultural Anthropology from the University of Toronto and a Master's from the University of Oregon School of Journalism and Communication. Kris and his wife Celine love living in Springfield, and on weekends they can be found enjoying coffee at the Washburn Cafe or walking Willamette Lane's 29 miles of paths and trails. So Kris, walk on up and share your gift with us.
Thank you, Dan. Good afternoon. My name is Kris Wig, and I feel grateful for the opportunities to serve our community as the Executive Director at Emergence, Addiction, and Behavior Therapies, and on the Board of Directors of the Willamette Lane Park and Recreation District. For my gift, I would give the city of Eugene a new pair of tennis shoes. And to illustrate why, I'd like to share the story of an American who really inspires me. Back in 1981, Patty Murray was a stay-at-home mom and community volunteer who traveled to Olympia, to the state capitol, with her children to ask the state legislature to restore funding for preschools. While she was there, a state representative told her that she would never make a difference because she was just a mom in tennis shoes. We've all heard that story before, and we've also heard how Patty proved them wrong. By the end of the 80s, she was serving in the state Senate, and in 1992, the year of the woman, she was elected to the United States Senate. Today, she serves as the president pro tempore of the Senate, third in the presidential line of succession. For over 40 years, Patty Murray's tennis shoes have symbolized her willingness to walk the extra mile for her constituents, to stand up for her beliefs, and never give up. Patty Murray's story is a powerful reminder that anyone, regardless of their background, can make a real difference. We all have felt like the problems are so big and I'm just an ordinary person. But it's precisely the everyday people like us who often accomplish the most extraordinary things. Patty's journey shows that determination, resilience, and the willingness to take that first step are what really matter. Whether it's filling a shift at the Egan Warming Center, helping families to find their perfect match at the Green Hill Cattery, or knocking on doors for a candidate we believe in during the next election. Each action we take when we volunteer helps to build a kinder and healthier community where everyone belongs. And volunteering offers many benefits that extend beyond the immediate impact. Studies have shown that volunteering can improve both physical and mental health, reducing stress and lowering the risk of depression and anxiety. Volunteering fosters a sense of purpose and belonging, helping us build new relationships and strengthen existing ones. By giving our time and energy to help others, we enhance our own well-being and create a ripple effect of positive change. It's no secret that we live in challenging times. While I don't yet know what challenges will face Eugene, it's clear that each of us has a role to play in making a difference. As we move forward into 2025 and beyond, we would be wise to heed the challenge offered by another inspiring American, President Barack Obama. If something needs fixing, lace up your shoes and do some organizing. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for that gift of tennis shoes. We now turn to three gift givers who work on an issue very close to my heart that we heard mentioned already, housing and homelessness. First up is Kris McAlister, who is the Executive Director of Carry It Forward, which works on behalf of the unhoused and food insecure neighbors. A native of Springfield, Kris experienced homelessness himself as a youth and has served 20 years in social justice and service-oriented boards and organizations that focus on the issue. He has chaired both the Lane County Poverty and Homelessness Board and the Springfield Utility Board Budget Committee. And we were delighted at Square One Villages, the nonprofit that I direct for 2 more weeks, 2 days and 4 hours, but who's counting? Kris has served on other nonprofits I know as well. He's the recipient of the Kirsten Frohnmeyer Award, United Way's Community Voice Award, and Springfield Alliance for Equity and Respect of Human Rights Award. And so thrilled to welcome my good friend Kris to share his gift.
Good afternoon. My name is Kris McAlister, and the struggle is real. We are on Kalapuya land. We are here as a people to try and serve. As in the words of Edward Murrow, we are not descended from fearful, paraphrased, peoples. We are here because we have to endure struggle, and we learn from our first steps to our first words how to correct, how to adjust, and how to amend. We here in Eugene, and I hope this gift goes further beyond Eugene to the greater Lane County area, because a good gift goes far. A good attention to detail has lasting effects. And as such, we serve homeless people who are actually trying to deal with some of the hardest issues, compounded. Cancer, dementia, being a person of color, having a language barrier, having a disability. Carry It Forward and other organizations are here because we are on the backs of giants, people who put forward the change, who took a risk, who fought against oppression, who fought against insincerity, and saw people for being people. We try to be, in our symbol, a cogwheel, to be part of the greater gear, to get things moving and keep it going. This is a machine. The system was made to be what it is. We have the ability to actually bring change to that. So my gift to the city of Eugene, to Greater Lane County, and to our world is perseverance. The struggle is real. We must be able to encounter change and hear truths we don't want to hear, see things that we don't want to see, and honor people who are actually taking those steps to remove barriers and lift up people. We are working on trying to organize better, to work with other like-minded groups, other like-minded cities, and other unheard voices to actually make the change stick. Because we can be a spinning wheel, we can be a flywheel with no teeth. We can be a loud, reverberating sound that is not heard. And so in the words of Edward Murrow again, paraphrased, the answer, dear Eugene, dear Layton County, is not in the stars. It is in us. It is in you. Thank you for being here and supporting those who give with Egan, who give with the other service organizations, community-supported shelters, Square One Village, because we are on the backs of giants, people who carve space so that our people are not forgotten. And greater yet, may we not forget those who have struggled on the streets, who are the reason why we serve. Because when they are seen as people, when they are elevated and lifted up, then you will see your town shine. You will hear their truth, and their truth will be your truth. Because when we speak common language, through perseverance, through common tongue, we are able to see common goals and see common outcomes. And with that in mind, I thank you for your time, and I encourage you to please use perseverance to remember those fighting cancer who also need a home, for those who are fighting to remember who they are, because their truth is not spoken to their ear. And you alone can help define how you are going to persevere with your community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kris, and I want to thank you personally for your own gift of perseverance that you give. Indeed. I've also had the privilege of working on housing issues with our next guest, Larissa Innes, who is a Washingtonian by birth, but an Oregonian by choice. She moved to Eugene in 2002 to earn a PhD in film and literature at the University of Oregon. Larissa then spent 16 years in administration at the university and is now seeking her next professional adventure. She serves on the recently formed Act Now Lane Steering Committee that is devoted to housing issues, the LCC Budget Committee, and is an appointed commissioner on the Board of Homes for Good. So we welcome Larissa.
Just a little bit. Okay, thanks everyone. I would bestow upon the people of Eugene and the Greater Lane County area the gift of foolishness. Now you may be thinking, Larissa, I am surrounded by foolishness on all sides at all times, and I am weary. But hear me out. The foolishness I am referring to is inspired by the historical, literary, and mythical figure of the Fool. The Fool has commonalities with trickster figures in mythology the world over. You may be most familiar with the Fool in the form of the court jester, also iconically the Joker in a deck of playing cards. Think of Joker's Wild, where that card can stand in for any other in the deck, sanctioned role reversal, if you will. The Fool is also the very first card in the tarot, the first of the major arcana, considered by some to be the most powerful card. In fact, its number isn't 1, but 0, subverting the very numbering system that orders the cards. The Fool in the tarot often presages spontaneity, a new journey or new beginnings, freed from the usual constraints of everyday life. And the Fool was often a character in Renaissance dramas, most notably Shakespeare. In history and literature, the Fool played a well-defined role. Their job was to perform, but not merely to entertain. While the highborn held court with what today might be called main character syndrome, the Fool would observe and listen, strategically disrupt the proceedings with physical pranks, and poke fun at or make coded criticisms of those at the top of the social food chain. These antics were intended to embarrass the powerful and give the lie to the notion that the highborn and wealthy are fit to rule inherently, a radical idea at the time and unfortunately maybe again today. The Fool held a special and protected place in the royal court because they were employed to transgress social norms, and you can't speak truth to power if you fear losing your head. The Fool's most important job is to unapologetically speak the truth, especially when it is unwelcome or uncomfortable. So to avail yourself of this gift of foolishness, first, you must be in a position where punching up, as it's known in comedy, won't lose you your head. As a white person, I invite white folks to really think about where you can afford to use this gift. It's probably less risky than you think it is to speak the truth. And secondly, this gift must be used to challenge power, transgress social norms, or subvert the status quo. I encourage you to bring this gift to your holiday gatherings. I'm not saying, bring an oops all celery casserole to the potluck, but you might listen for an opportunity to spontaneously introduce an uncomfortable truth. For example, if your finance bro cousin is home for the holidays and starts complaining about all these homeless people, I'm using air quotes for those on the radio, we had never had all these homeless people when I was a kid. So many moochers on the system now. You can say, oh my gosh, Chet, I know. Can you believe that because of the housing shortage, over the last 20 years in Eugene, Springfield, the cost of rental housing has increased more than 200%, while the median household income has only increased around 30%? Isn't it wild that housing costs have outpaced household incomes by 700%, and that we haven't radically increased the production of new housing to meet the demand? Wow, it's like the invisible hand of the free market must be off doing more important things, like making sure to tax working class folks to subsidize the wealthiest Americans, whose employees rely on public assistance to survive, so a few white dudes can take their sky yachts to space while defunding NASA. Chet, I'm so glad we agree that mooching is a problem. Now, wouldn't that be a foolish thing to say?
Oh, I love the foolish gift. And in the spirit of O. Henry, the gift of the Magi, I think of the foolish gift Jim gave to Della of the turtle combs after she'd cut off her hair so she could buy him the gold watch. May we indeed have such foolishness. Our third community leader who is helping us address this housing crisis is Kevin Cronin, the Director of Policy and Advocacy at Housing Oregon, a statewide nonprofit representing over 120 affordable housing and community development organizations. In that capacity, Kevin led the Oregon delegation to a lobby day in Washington, D.C. this year, in which I was honored to participate. Based in Eugene, Kevin is an experienced organizer with a background in tenant labor and political advocacy. He is passionate about gardening and history as well, and is a proud University of Oregon alumni. Did I mention that I'm wearing the duck scarf from the Rose Bowl 2012? Go Ducks and go Kevin.
Oh, thank you, Dan. Hey everyone, and thank you City Club for having me, and hello to my beautiful wife Ellen, who's listening on the radio. My name is Kevin Cronin. I've spent about 14 years in this city as an organizer, starting at the University of Oregon campus, registering people to vote. In that time, I've learned to work on a shoestring budget, no matter the campaign. That's made me a deeply practical, resourceful person who values deeply practical gifts. My wife recently asked me to make a Christmas wish list, and she couldn't stop teasing me because the first thing I put on it was a fire extinguisher. But if you know me, you know that this fits me perfectly. So when I was asked to give a gift to the city, I thought about the most practical thing I could, a snowplow. So I've heard a rumor that the city of Eugene only has 4 snowplows. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but it certainly feels like that sometimes because the whole city shuts down anytime it snows. So let's talk about what a snowplow does. It's a straightforward tool, but it's essential. Snowplows get out early in the morning or as soon as the snow starts falling and clear the major roads, Franklin, Chambers, Coburg, 6th. They make it possible for people to get to work, for kids to go to school, and for essential workers to do their jobs. They keep those LTD buses running, ensuring folks can get where they need to go. They make our streets safer during hazardous conditions, reducing the risk of accidents. Snowplows operate in the wet, the cold, and the snow, tackling emergencies head on. This past year has been really tough for Oregon. We've had 2 nationally declared emergencies. Our governor has us under a homeless state of emergency, and if you think back to January's ice storm, Springfield was without power for days. Trees fell into homes, and it was a tough time for many of our neighbors who live outside. The snowplow to me is more than just a tool. It's a symbol of how we don't have enough resources to handle emergencies. Whether it's clearing snow or addressing homelessness, we are often outmanned, under-resourced, and facing increasingly urgent conditions. We need tools like snowplows to protect the vulnerable and ensure the safety of our community. I know the people in this room care deeply about our city. And while there are many important people here with big titles who do important work, let's not forget about the person driving the snowplow. They're providing an immediate form of salvation, something immediately useful, immediately visible, and immediately impactful. And while there are a lot of people doing important work, and there's a lot of people out there doing very important work, just like our snowplow driver. And I want to shout out to my brothers and sisters in the union at AFSCME and IBEW who worked the storm and got our power back. So my gift to the city is the snowplow, a practical solution for the emergencies of today, and a reminder that we need more tools and resources to build a safer, more resilient community. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, for that very practical gift. Somewhat new to our community is Melissa Scholz, who is the founding attorney at the Scholz Nonprofit Law, where she unites her expertise in nonprofit law with over 30 years of experience as a community leader and fundraiser. She formerly worked at a large Wisconsin law firm. Did I happen to mention that the Ducks beat Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl in 2012? Well, in spite of that, Melissa came to Eugene in 2023 with her husband, Carl Scholz, president of that local school known nationally for the Big Ten championship football team, among just a few other things. Had you heard that the Ducks are going to be in the Rose Bowl? All right. Did you know the University of Oregon actually has a pretty good education program as well? Yeah. Well, when she isn't practicing law or working on community issues, she enjoys sports and other activities, being outdoors, hearing live music, cooking or eating good food, and being with family and friends. So we welcome Melissa to share her gift with us.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thanks for this invitation. And thanks for all the wonderful gifts that were given. Mine is going to feel particularly trivial as I announce it, but bear with me. And that, of course, it too is a symbol. And I think hopefully a symbol that supports all the gifts that all of you have wished upon us. My gift is a new sign that welcomes you to Eugene, coming west from Springfield on Franklin Boulevard. Not to be rude, but the current sign is pretty uninspiring. There may be people who are really attached to it for decades of memories passing that sign, but I'd love to see a new sign that proclaims that we are the thriving, vibrant city that we are, and the home to one of the great universities. Carl made me say it, but I do believe it, but the University of Oregon. But of course, the sign is really a symbol. A new sign can be a symbol that Eugene has embraced change and a commitment to the innovation that is needed to bring prosperity and flourishing for all the people in this region. Eugene is beautiful. If you've heard us speak, we talk about, Carl always says it's breathtakingly beautiful. It is. But we're well aware that not everyone here is flourishing. And we wish that to be true. And I've experienced very vibrant pockets in the city, but I also worry that the community is comfortable with being good enough. And through maybe accumulated battle scars, maybe has lost some hope that it could be different. particularly right now. I think people are feeling, struggling with hope. I fear in this mentality that we end up hunkered down in our silos and are resistant to some of the compromises that need to happen to get the housing we need, to grow the tax base, to incentivize business investment, and make it a place where everyone can thrive. As many of you know, we were in Madison, Wisconsin, another college town, for 35 years. And over that time, we saw an absolute transformation in that place. I observed surrounding communities working together despite different political identities. I saw coordinated regional development. I saw wonderful collaboration among the university, nonprofits, government, and sometimes grudgingly, businesses, particularly as partners in housing, job creation, and creating conditions needed for prosperity. This isn't a new insight, but university towns such as Eugene and Madison are infamous for analysis paralysis and letting perfect be the enemy of good. I don't want to disrespect all of the work that is happening here and people working tirelessly to make it better. In fact, I just heard all about Act Now Lane yesterday, super exciting. I also don't want to disrespect the values that underlie the liberal identity, which I share. But in my experience, holding on to, at least in Madison, our deep liberal bona fides meant clinging to certain identities and resistance to change and innovation. So to that end, I gift you a new sign that represents a new spirit of optimism and innovation. And with that sign, I grant a bonus gift of a banner that says, "We're the home of the college football national champions." Yay, thank you.
Yeah, we're talking my kind of gift. I don't know if you can picture that sign, but I bet you the next time you drive past it, you'll take note. Thank you, Melissa. So finally, I thought I'd give our outgoing state representative from District 12, Charlie Conrad, the final word. He considers himself fortunate to continue advocating for people by bringing his 26 years of public service and passion for connecting people to government through participating on multiple local and state boards, including Options Family Services and Counseling, the Oregon Lottery Commission, United Way of Lane County, and the McKenzie Valley Long-Term Recovery Group. Charlie joined with former Idaho State Rep Chanel Dixon to form Common Ground, United We Stand, a nonpartisan coalition of current and former state legislators focused on countering extremism by advocating for functioning state legislatures and supporting the legislators who advocate for and represent their constituents, not political parties. For him, people and county come first. Charlie, you come last. Just today.
Good afternoon, and thank you all very much. I always appreciate coming to Eugene City Club, so even hopefully after I lose the title, still have opportunities to come back and enjoy these events that you put on. Behind me, you will see Ellie. In this picture, she is 3 months old. And for those folks on the radio, it's a picture of a 3-month-old blonde lab mix sleeping on a chair on our back deck underneath a beautiful blue sky. I am not gifting Ellie. She's staying with me. But what I am gifting is what she represents in this picture. Warmth, peace, comfort, and appreciation of and embracing the little things. Remembering what really matters. We are constantly bombarded by politics. The dysfunction, the mis and disinformation, the turmoil, the drama, all the chaos. And I am sure you could probably come up with a dozen other negative adjectives that accurately describe our current socio-political world. We feel the stress and anxiety all throughout our days. One of the things that I have always tried to do is bring government to the people, to be that bridge that helps bring people economic stability and personal opportunity. The Stoics, their history, their lives, and their philosophy has played a huge role in formulating my beliefs and my principles, and guiding my work. For Stoics, a reasoned life dedicated to the public good was a happy life. And this is also true for me. But Stoics did not live perfect lives. They were human, and they suffered from our same imperfections, our passions, our contradictions, and our fallibilities. But not being perfect doesn't mean you don't pursue perfection, that it isn't a battle worth fighting. One of the quotes that really resonates with me is from Vince Lombardi. We will strive for perfection, knowing we will never achieve it, but in the process, we might catch excellence. So, I give to the city of Eugene the ability to embody the lessons contained in the book, Lives of the Stoics, The Art of Living from Zeno to Marcus Aurelius by Ryan Holiday. It describes the history and the lives and the philosophies of the Stoics. Contained in these pages are the lives and histories of people who tried to figure out how we can live together better. Their thoughts on how we better serve our communities, how we relate to each other, achieving progress on how we give each other grace and live better together requires us to purposefully engage in a reasoned search to attempt to understand us and the world we live in. Managing us and our societies is a massive undertaking. It's a puzzle without a solution, but hopefully we will continue to make progress over time and therefore catch excellence. Excellence doesn't just happen. We have to try. We have to be engaged. We have to be committed, and we have to be purposeful in our pursuit. For me, it all begins with embracing the simple things, putting things in perspective, like enjoying an afternoon nap in the shade on a warm day after playing with your brother. Giving grace to others begins with being at peace ourselves. That means accepting who we are and accepting that at our core, we are all the same. So I thank you all very much.
Thank you, Charlie, and a very appropriate gift on which to close. So as we close out this holiday program, I just want to note that 2 of the religious holidays celebrated during this time, Christmas and the first day of Hanukkah, both fall on December 25th this year. That doesn't happen very often. In fact, it's the first time that has happened since 2016. Now, I don't know that we should take that as any kind of sign, given other things that may have happened in 2016. So I'll offer it as a parting wish for the new year that more things may come together in peace and harmony around the world, especially in the Middle East, our nation, and here in this wonderful community. And may this holiday season bring you equally wonderful gifts as we have received today, and whatever may come our way in the year ahead, may you find the love of family and friends, the joy of good health and community, and hope for the future. This is Dan Bryant wishing you happy holidays.
That's all the time and all the gifts that we have for today. Please join me once again in thanking our MC, Dan Bryant, and all of our gifters today. This has been our December 13th, 2024 program, Gifts to the City. City Club will be on winter recess for the next 2 weeks, but will return Friday, January 3rd, 2025, for a program featuring the Oregon Mind-Body Institute. Until then, have blessed holidays and a happy new year. Thank you.